We're just a few days into the season of Advent, the time when we look forward to the gift of our Lord Jesus Christ, the babe born in Bethlehem. And we think about God's giving to us, and we in turn respond by giving gifts at Christmas time. When I was a child, I remember one of the gifts that excited me the most was a gift from an uncle. It was a $5 bill. It was appropriate. It came from a banker. But you know, current research tells us that there's definite resistance on the part of church members to talking about money as a spiritual concept. And most churches function as if the purpose of stewardship is to pay the church's bills. When I was a young pastor starting out, I came to stewardship season with fear and trepidation because that wasn't anything that was mentioned in seminary at the time. And I was very pleased when I came across an article in the Reader's Digest, of all places, written by the Reverend Dr. John Johnston, then pastor of First Presbyterian Church, Columbus, Georgia. In it, Dr. Johnson writes that in an early pastorate, the church treasurer came to him and said that he wanted to review the giving habits of the members of the church. Dr. Johnson said he refused, saying that he did not feel that he ought to know what the members gave to the church because it might influence him and he might not be able to render the kind of pastoral care that he would like to. Well, a few days later, the treasurer came back to Dr. Johnston, and this time he reported that Charlie Jones has a spiritual problem. He thought Dr. Johnston should know about it, and Dr. Johnston agreed. He responded by saying, "Of course, I can't minister to him adequately if I don't know what his spiritual needs are." So the church treasurer said, "His spiritual problem is that he's stingy. He only gives $1 a week to the church." Dr. Johnston writes, "Never again have I felt that I should insulate myself from the knowledge about the spiritual and moral problems of my congregation and my church members. And one of the gravest sins that can grip a person's soul is stinginess." It's surprising in a way that straight talk about money is such a taboo in the church. Jesus spoke more about money, possessions, and wealth than he did about prayer and beliefs. When we read the New Testament, we find that Jesus was always talking about money. Not because he was trying to finance a ministry, or pay the church mortgage, or meet the church's operating expenses, or have a lavish lifestyle like some evangelists do. No, read the New Testament and we find that Jesus was talking about money because he knew that it can become an obsession, an idol that competes for our allegiance with God. As he said, you cannot serve God and mammon, or money. Money is such an essential aspect of our lives that either we allow our commitment to God to affect our relation to money, or money will affect our relationship with God. In short, where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. We like to give and receive gifts at Christmas time. And some of those gifts our gifts of money. And when I was a kid, that was probably one of the best gifts that I was ever given. So you see, stewardship is a way of life. In fact, stewardship is a way of being Christian in response to the gift of God.